We're on the campus of Oklahoma State University today here in Stillwater, and I've got a special guest joining me today. Actually, he's our urban forester for landscape services, and I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Chris Martin. Hi, Chris.
Hey, how's it going, Steve?
Chris has been with us going on 3 years now, I guess?
Almost 3.
And Chris has done a phenomenal job. And Chris's title again is Urban Forester. And a lot of folks, Chris, probably don't think about an urban forester for a university. Kind of tell me what your role is here.
Well, it really involves managing all the trees on campus. That deals with everything from pruning to removals, planting. Anytime we do a new landscape, I deal with the landscape crew to help install the trees. So anything revolving around tree care, really. And part of that was an inventory that we did as well.
And of course, Chris, you know this, that trees pretty much dictate everything that we do on campus from maintenance. And so we took on a big project over the last several years in inventorying all the trees on campus. You might tell us a little bit about why we even needed to do an inventory.
Yeah, well, it's really important. I think when I got here, we didn't have one, and it's really important to know what you have. It helps you manage the trees, and so I was a little surprised with some of the results. I knew some of them, like the bur oaks and the bald cypress and lacebark elms, were going to be some of the top 5 or so, but I was a little surprised that crepe myrtles made it to number 6 and shantung maples made it to number 11. So you never know what you have until you do an inventory, and it's really important for management.
And management, but also diversification, because you talked about those different species. What were the top species that we had?
Shumard oak, bald cypress, Chinese pistache, bur oak, and lacebark elm are the top 5.
And why is diversification important?
Well, it's really important, as you've seen in the past with Dutch elm disease, and recently with emerald ash borer and Asian longhorn beetle. If an invasive comes in and you have all of one species, then it can really destroy the urban forest. So the inventory is really important for that, because it lets us know what we have and how much we have, so we can plant diversified species, but not only the species, but the age class as well, so that it doesn't all mature at the same time.
Correct. And so now with our future plantings, we know what maybe to pull back on a little bit and try different species. So that's been great. I think what surprised me the most was the value of our trees. Yeah. Talk about how many trees we have on campus, the total inventory, and what they were valued at.
Yeah, so the total inventory came back. It took us 3 years to do, actually, and we used a forestry student. She did a great job for us. And it came back with a little over 2,900 trees. The total value was $9.3 million, and that included a canopy coverage of campus of 5.2%.
And that is really a low number, is it not? Typically, the goal is what?
It depends. I think it's regional, but normally they say 30 to 40%, but understandably where we are, and even Tulsa probably would have a higher percentage than we would, just because of where we're located.
But we're actively trying to plant more trees, of course, to bump that number up.
Yes.
We're just happen to be standing by a tree that's probably one of the most popular, a bur oak, and Chris knows this. We probably have more weddings at this particular site than any place on campus because of this spectacular tree. So Chris, let's talk about this particular tree. Again, it's a bur oak.
Sure.
What was its value, and what did you find about this one tree?
Well, it's a little over $19,000, which is, if you can tell by the size of it, it's a very large tree. The stormwater benefits, where it reduced the runoff by about $3.30 a year, which doesn't sound like a lot, but they have a special calculation for that, but it's still a good improvement. And some of the other benefits are it's 150 pounds per year of carbon that it sequesters, and that's kind of a big thing now with climate change and everything, that's really important on a lot of people's minds, so that helps. And the avoided runoff in meters squared is 1.3, so that calculates the $3.30 per year.
And how tall is this tree? Do you remember?
I think it was 56 feet, if I remember correctly.
And the width is quite impressive.
It's 74 feet.
So much wider than
it's much wider, yes.
And again, just a beautiful specimen of a tree. Now, the other thing, Chris, that we're very proud of is with all of this work that we've done, we've implemented a tree care plan, and we've got a dedicated budget, and again, we know the inventory. But in 2012, we were awarded Tree Campus USA status, which was the first major university in the state of Oklahoma to receive that recognition.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Tree Campus USA.
Well, it's set up by the Arbor Day Foundation in Nebraska, and the idea or the goal is to increase sustainability and education about trees, and to help maintain them. And there's 5 criteria that you have to follow. One of them is an Arbor Day celebration. One of them is a dedicated budget, a dedicated tree plan, and a tree board. Then a service learning project, which involves the students. Normally we try to tie that around Arbor Day or Arbor Week, and a dedicated budget for that.
Okay. And this is something that we have to apply for each year?
Yes, every year you have to apply for it, and we just found out last month that we received it, and this will be the 4th year in a row.
Okay. Well, very good, Chris. It's just phenomenal, the work that you and the students have done on the trees, and we appreciate the update, and man, keep up the great work.
Yeah, thank you.